everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to try to teach you how to make paper by recycling old paper you may have lying around or just spice things up a little bit. For your DIY paper, you're first going to need a frame to scoop the paper with, for which you'll need some wood, a tape measure to measure the wood, a saw to cut the wood, a stapler, something to know you're getting a right angle, some wood glue, some mesh or gauze-y fabric, hammer and nails, scissors, and that's really it. These wooden rods will make up the size of your frame, so be sure you have a container that's larger than you're cutting these, but mine was about 20 by 25 centimeters total. This is what you shouldn't do, which is just thinking you can glue it together and it will stay sturdy. It won't, so you better just head over to a place where you can hammer them in perfect 90 degrees angles and then only glue them after. Do that, please. Once you're done gluing it together, it's time to add the gauze on top because that's what's actually going to hold onto the paper. I think the fabric I used was just some old fabric we had laying around to protect us from bugs. Just use anything you have around and cut it to approximately the size of your frame, but be sure to have some extra space to attach it to the frame and have it not be too short. Now you can attach it to your frame and be sure to try to get it as tight as possible. Realize your frame is stuck to the table because you just nailed it stuck to the table and assume your mom might murder you. I'm very sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Do what you should have done to avoid this problem altogether and use a piece of wood underneath the nailing. Or just use a thicker frame so that the staples won't go through immediately. I first stapled two lengthway sides and then only the sideway sides to avoid optimal tightness, and the frame is done! With your frame done, you can move on to the pulp. The pulp is just the old recycled paper, so you're going to need the paper and shred it to bits in the container you might use later for the actual making of paper, and you're going to tear as much paper as you want. When you have enough paper, you can whip out your blender and then you're going to blend it into a smooth paste, which you can then put through a sieve and create the pulp. You want it to be as smooth as possible, and it doesn't feel very good, as you might have been able to tell, but this was rather smooth and I think it was an okay consistency for it to have. Now to make the actual paper, which is the slightly more glamorous part of this fun DIY. Get a tub big enough to host your frame, the pulp you just made, some plastic sheets to let your paper dry on, a rolling pin, a drying cloth, and some more gauze, and any additions you might want to add. Fill your tub with water and crumble some of your pulp in. It'll look a bit weird at first, but continue until it's kind of opaque and milky. Then when you hope you have enough of the pulp in, you can try to make your first sheet of paper. Just put your frame in, be sure there's some of the pulp on top, and lift it from the water. Now cover your frame in pulp with the other sheet of fabric or gauze so that you can dry the excess water out of it, which will take a while and a lot of dabbing, after which your paper is ready to be dried on a flat surface. For me, the removal was sometimes a little bit hard, so I would occasionally like blow on a corner to give it a head start and then pull off the frame. Now rinse and repeat as many times as you want. I tried different like toppings and also multiple layers of paper on top of each other because my pulp may have not been dense enough. I found that dried petals and flowers can make for a pretty cute decoration, though the smaller they are, the better it works. I also tried water paint and glitter, and I honestly liked how all of them came out quite a lot. Another failed experiment was me trying to dye the pulp in the before actually making a sheet of paper. However, as you might be able to tell, it immersed entirely white and normal. I don't know why. Maybe acrylic paint would work. And the last part is also the most satisfying. Peeling the plastic away from the paper and revealing what you made. Overall, I found that it worked really well to just softly, carefully pull them off the plastic. This is my one with glitter in it. It's pretty subtle, but it's still pretty fun. This sheet of paper is a bit thick, but size doesn't matter. What I really like about this paper is that it just leaves such a unique texture, and I know that sounds like I just make bad paper and I'm making an excuse for it, but I genuinely love the texture when I'm writing snail mail to friends, and I think it's really fun, and I really do recommend this. I hope this inspired you to tear up some old notebooks and make some paper yourself. Or to the very least, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. I'll see you next time. Bye!